What's up, y'all? It's the Relentless podcast where we're stirring up passion and purpose for marriage.
That's right. We're diving into topics you always wanted to talk about. Real life, real struggles, real love, and real results. So what are we waiting for? Let's go in. Yo, welcome back, friends and family, to the Relentless Love Podcast, man. We back, baby. It's a good week. It's a good week to be with us, man. Listen, happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there, man. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all, man. We respect and honor y'all, man. And we want to say we love you with all of our heart.
Yes.
Wouldn't be here without you. You know what I mean?
Even for the mothers in waiting, we honor you. You a mother and somebody. So happy Mother's Day to you too.
Yeah, facts. Dear mama, come on. When I was young, man, my mama had be 17. Oh, let me chill, man. Yeah, man. But it's a good day to be with us, man. We're talking about the value of moms, how they shape marriage, because we're all about marriage, how they influence and impact marriages from your mom to your current spouse and her possibly being a mother. How does that shape and impact marriages and relationships, man?
So confession, Mother's Day is always kind of a interesting kind of, I don't know the right word. It's a little weird for me, if I'm honest.
Okay.
I don't know if other mothers and women can relate, but I feel like it's not quite about me. I think it's because Savion was born so close.
Savion was born on the couple days.
Yes.
It's always a couple days between his birthday and Mother's Day. Facts.
So I'm like, okay, what are we doing for his birthday? What can I do for my mom? What can I do for your mom? I got 2 sisters or stepsisters, so I'm always like thinking about everybody.
You're not in an identity crisis. You just got a lot of mama activity
it's
going on around.
and logistical.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, you a mom.
I am a mom, but I don't. I think when I get to grandma status, it might.
We're not rushing that.
I'm just
If
being honest.
My kids, if you watching that, y'all just take your time.
Y'all know we're going to keep it real. So I don't know if other ladies can relate, but all I want to do is sleep, eat good, sleep. I don't even care about gifts at this point.
Yeah. Nah, we're going to make sure you get all of that, man. But cheers to you.
Well, thank you.
As an amazing mother. You had an amazing mother.
Yes.
Just a lot of good dynamics that is a blessing to me, man.
You have an amazing mother.
Oh, my mom is
like
incredible.
a mother to me. So
incredible. Yeah. Well, let's dive into it, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this thing, man. The influences that mothers have, mamas have on marriages. How does it affect us? Because it does in all kind of ways.
So one distinct memory I have is when, I think it was before we got married, your mom told me this one thing, like she was already giving me advice, which I appreciate, but she was like, you have to let a man think it's his idea. And I was like, I don't know what to think
Mama
about
was
that.
dropping gems off early.
Dropping gems. I was like, I hear that. I don't like that. But thank you. And she was right. She was absolutely right. So
You said that in the Strong Woman podcast too. That's shout out Mama
that.
Jones.
Yes.
Mama Jones dropping the jewels.
She was dropping the jewels early. So I appreciate it. What I took it was she was warning me, like, just get ready. She was so sweet in how
What was she warning you about me about? What she was
like, just get ready.
Yeah.
Because you are your daddy's child.
Yeah. But she was already influencing our marriage.
Yes.
In a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way. She already was having a footprint, fingerprint on the dynamics of our marriage.
And I appreciate about her, she was never intrusive. Like, even when she presented that, it was very kind. So she gave me room to be myself.
Yeah.
I never felt a pressure to try to follow in her footsteps or like dress in the way she cooks it. She never put that like a standard on me, and I appreciate that. And she did from the beginning embrace me as a daughter. Right. And I think as mothers, that's one of the best things we can do.
Yeah.
Now we have that mother's intuition, so we know when somebody's not right. But I'm thankful she didn't. I don't know. She didn't write me out.
Yeah. So she impacted us early. We got pregnant early too. Yeah. So like we didn't really have a lot of just us marriage time. Yeah. You became a mama pretty quick. I became
a mom early, yes. So I'm thankful with that for the influence of my mom. My mom, oh my gosh, she is one of the most nurturing people that I know.
Yeah.
She loved babies. She loved her kids. She loved her grandkids.
Facts.
So I'm thankful I inherited that. There was just and we always had babies and kids around.
Your mama was the baby whisperer.
She was.
Like, your mom was like the baby magnet. Kid, your family's like children were just drawn to her,
All
man.
of them
crazy.
adore her even now.
Yeah.
They all adore her. We lost her 2 years ago, but man, she is missed.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And I think that's the hardest part of Mother's Day for me is, and even grieving her loss, is my kids didn't get to experience the fullness of it. Savion got to spend like a summer with her, you know, when I went to Africa, but the girls never got to experience that. But hopefully through me, they'll get to experience that legacy. Yeah.
She rubbed off.
But I remember when I was little, like, she worked at the Catholic school we went to, and all the kids loved her. I was a little salty because she was the favorite. So she was just always so good with kids. Always giving. Like my mom, she was borderline a hoarder, but it's because she kept things to give to other people. She was always thinking about, oh no, let's not throw that away. I can give this to so-and-so.
Well, she sent us home with every time we can. We'll go in there and get what. We going back packed and full of stuff, man. You're right about that.
And I picked that up. Just a heart for other people, heart for people in need.
Yeah.
So yeah, she has shaped me as a woman, as a wife. I remember fond memories of when her and my dad were in business together. And I don't know if it was like, I can't remember what it was, but I remember seeing, like, being in the office with them. And so it's funny, I see that now, like me taking the kids on real estate, you know, going to showings and different things. So that's cool. It shaped me in many different ways, and how I try to support you in what you do. I got to see that side. Yeah.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. The footprint of mothers, sometimes we don't look back enough to even see our moms and their moms kind of influenced and passed it down, their influence passed down, whether good or bad. Sometimes you have some bad experiences. Sometimes you have some good ones. Thankfully, we have some great experiences. But all those things were passed down and shaped who you are, that's impacting our relationship and your motherhood and you being a wife to me and how we partnering and raising our kids and building our family. Like, the impact of moms is there. And I just feel like that's the way it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
It was designed. It was a setup. You know, God set it up in a beautiful way to where it was leaving this type of legacy and footprint of love, nurturing, caring, protecting, providing, and influence as families.
Yeah, it's funny. I think it was Easter, like leading up to Easter, we having lost parents, like we struggle sometimes with creating new traditions, right? Because you can get used to, like, okay, we always do Thanksgiving this way, or we do Christmas this way. And so we've been in that season of trying to create new norms and new traditions for our kids that we can carry on. And so it made me think about that. Easter, we were trying to figure it out. When we didn't have something, I kicked into what was norm. Like, my mom cooked a big spread for Easter, and that's what I wanted to do. And you had to stop me, but I realized that's why I wanted to, because that's what my mom did.
Right.
And she was the type, when she cooked, like, before you could even do anything, she would already have the food in Tupperware. Like, she was like a beast.
Facts.
She was just systematic and on top of things. She always had things together, so I picked that up from her too.
Right.
Which is a way that in our marriage, I get to serve you and support you.
Yeah, and I appreciate
Sheila had it together.
I appreciate when you cook. I appreciate it when you get the beans and rice going, that gumbo.
I know last episode, so just to be clear, I can cook, y'all. It's not that I can't cook. I just don't like to cook. And at this, I don't know, I'm older, I'm 40 now. I don't have the same energy, so I don't want to do it.
That's all, I got you.
Thank you. So I just wanted to clear that up. I can cook, y'all. I just don't.
I co-sign the cooking powers that are in her, man. It's great when she does, but I'm cool with taking up slack. It's Mother's Day. Mamas, y'all to get out the kitchen. You better not be in that kitchen, y'all fellas. Somebody, kids, y'all better step up, man, and do what y'all need to do.
That was funny. What I didn't get from my mom was sewing. Your mom sews well. My mom sews really well. And what hit me, like, our daughter wants to get into sewing. And so, remember when Sanai got her machine?
We both lost. I'm YouTube and stuff trying to figure out. I'm messing stuff up. I'm just like, let me get
my
out the
gosh.
way.
And then
you know.
I had like a whole meltdown. Like I felt so inadequate as a woman. Like I should know how to do this. And so then I got over that, right?
It's not the 1920s. You at home knitting, waiting for me to come home.
I
like,
know, but that was important to my child, and I dropped the ball. So I was like, listen, we're going to find you a class. And lo and behold, shout out to the Arlington Public Library. They had a whole class. She got to learn. I was like, thank you, Jesus.
Nah, facts. But that's that nurturing, servant mother's heart. You want to look out for your kids. You want to nurture them, make sure they're taken care of, which is a beautiful thing because everybody don't have that.
That's true.
And sometimes we take that for granted because there are some people who have been either hurt, traumatized, or didn't have a good example. And they could care less like about any of that. But you being who you are and what you got passed down to you is a blessing to our kids now. That's the impact. Yeah. That's when that keyword legacy comes up. Like, what legacy are you leaving? And I think the mamas around the world, y'all have a great responsibility to leave a legacy, man, for those that's coming after you. So it's good. So
from your vantage point, how did motherhood like change me? You said that I became a mom early, which is true. How, just over the years and the different seasons as a mom, how has it shaped our marriage?
I mean, I think it softened you a bit. Yeah. But when I first met you, you were very driven. I mean, you still are. And she was very driven, determined, focused. I mean, you was a lion, you know what I mean? Like a lioness. Well, thank you. You know?
Because I know you like lions.
I like lions, man. I'm a lion. I need another lion with me, you know what I mean? But yeah, you were you had a little bit more like, almost, wasn't cold. You were just more aggressive.
The hardness.
More hard, aggressive. I think having kids slowed you down. It gave you a nurturing, gave you a nurturing heart, gave you a more sensitive kind of awareness around you. I think it brought out some different phases of love inside of you that you didn't have. Yeah. Because I know you, I know your story. That it brought out some more dynamics of your love. And it really it made you a gentle, like genuine, loving person overall. You know what I mean? And I think it was cool. I was jealous of it at times because you. Listen, we keep it a buck around here. This the Relentless. What camera? Which one? We keep it a buck. You know what I mean? And we don't bash. It's just a reality. Like, I was jealous at first because you were giving a different type of love to our son when you became a mom. And I was seeing that and I was like, but dang, bro, like, I want some of that. Like, I want some of that. But you was learning how to do it through being a mom first. You didn't really know how to do it as a wife yet. Yeah. Right?
What was interesting to me, because we, especially early on, had this dynamic. You would say, don't mom me. Like, don't son me. That kind of thing. So I don't know how to reconcile that sometimes, because to me, loving him in that way and nurturing him is the same dynamic.
It's not though. Like no, it ain't though. It ain't. Fellas, I know y'all know. So we finna go there. Ladies, moms, we love y'all moms, right? Cool. But if you in a marriage, don't mother your husband because he didn't marry his mom. No, and he don't want his mom. So what I'm saying is, don't mom me in the sense of like correcting me, like, get in there and pick up your shoes. What's wrong? Don't do that like that. You know you need to do. When you fussing like that, it could be momish, like when I was a teenager and my mom pick up the clothes out the da-da-da-da-da, or telling me how to do this, or telling me how to pay the bills and doing all of that. It could kind of feel like you are usurping me in authority and then trying to tell me what to do in a mommy type of way. Right. And then that's going to be disrespect. And now I'm going to feel like, wait, you sonning me. Like, I'm not your son, I'm your husband. Right. I want you to mom me in a sense of the nurturing, comfort. I'm safe. You here to take care of me. I can come talk to you. That's the mom, but not mom like, all right, boy. Like, nah, don't do that. So my ladies, don't do that.
Y'all got that.
And that's what I was saying.
I'm
wanted.
still working.
I didn't want the Savion get up and get in. No, I wanted to come here, son. That's like that dynamic. So I'm saying you learn how to do the nurturing portion very well, and I was jealous of that because I wasn't getting there yet. And so that's why I was like, man, side eye y'all over there chilling. You know what I'm saying?
You still kind of do.
You feel me? I'm working on that.
We're working through it, y'all.
But it's real. Hit the like button and subscribe if you feeling that. If you feeling that, you hit that like button.
That's real.
But yeah, I just saw those changes, which was beautiful. But I had to adjust my heart towards it too. But I think it was a beautiful shift. That's what mothering brings out of you. Parenting brings out another side of you that is good and it's natural because that's how God set it up. It brings out some loving God qualities in you that's for the family. Yeah. And I got to see that evolution of you becoming a mom and then being able to learn how to apply that in our marriage. Change the game for us, man. Yeah. For real.
What about, I definitely agree. It rounded me out. It balanced me. It did make me softer. I feel the same with fatherhood. We'll talk about that next month. But what about pregnancy and like carrying the baby and all of that, even giving birth? Because I appreciate that you were there with me with every pregnancy. Yeah. Even one like you were on racing because they were coming so fast. I forgot who that was.
Facts, man. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think it changed you. It kind of highlighted your strengths to me in a sense. Like I ain't never seen nobody else carry children. Really, I think you probably the only one that I've seen like in that dynamic. But like, you was strong, man. Like you was dancing. I remember with Savion up until they told you stop dancing, right? Yeah. But then you was focused on taking care of your body. You was focusing on maintaining your health. You was focused on doing all that. But then when it got to the actual childbirth, you just on a natural. Just know I don't want no meds. I don't want none of that. Don't do like I'm finna have this baby, and you did it in the consideration of you wanted it all to be healthy, safe, and strengthened, and just go through it. That's your grit, your determination. That's your resolve. That's your commitment. It showed me that you are always committed to what you value, and you wholeheartedly, genuinely want to do things for the good of yourself and others. Not in no kind of I want a trophy type way, but just like, yo, I just want what's best for me, my child, the family, like everything. Everything you do is based on that. And it highlighted that to me is like, you really care about everything for the good. It's never selfish. It's never inward. It's never like you didn't want a trophy because you didn't take meds or get the numbing stuff. You didn't want no other stuff intruding on your body that would affect you or the baby or anything else. So it wasn't like, look at me. It was more so like, man, I want the best.
Right.
And that's your heart. That's always been your heart for anything you've done. Wow. And it just highlighted that to me is like, she cares. And your qualities was coming out during the pregnancy. So it made me want to care. That's why I'm like, well, yeah, I don't want you stressing out. Sit down. Don't worry about nothing. You know, and I was kind of I was overly doing that. But it was because I saw what was coming out of you that I wanted to agree with you on that and protect you and make sure y'all was good too, because I could see you valued that. And so I definitely saw that come out during your childbirth. And that's the mama. Mm-hmm. Those are those mother qualities. You want to protect yourself and your child. You know what I mean?
Well, I appreciate you sharing that. I don't think you've ever said that. So husband, be sure to affirm your wife, and because it's hard carrying a baby. It's definitely hard giving birth, but
we'll never
beautiful.
Know.
It transforms you. I think it was humbling to me though, because when I was, obviously losing a baby, but being at risk after that, like I had to slow down like exponentially. So my normal pace, I couldn't take on as many burdens. I had to be more intentional. So that was hard, but I love how in our marriage it brought us together. It deepened our intimacy. Right. We both grew in respect because you had to give me shots. Like I remember.
I hated doing that, bro.
Brock does
hated
not
doing
like
that,
to
man.
see people in the hospital. Like he can't. He doesn't know what to do. He like freezes. But he had to. I don't know why. It was just. I think it was part of God's plan for us to get closer.
Yeah,
But that
definitely.
broke you. He
Hindsight.
had to give me a shot in my hip.
Needle
every
about this
week.
long.
Yeah,
I
every
was like, bro, I
week.
don't want to stab my wife. Like every night, I stab you, bro. Like,
Yeah.
that sucked,
Yeah.
man. But that was serving. That was
Yeah.
serving you from the sense of motherhood. You was my wife,
Yeah.
right? But it was from the sense of this the mother of my child.
Yeah.
You carrying my child. I want you to whatever we need to do to make sure you good.
Yeah.
I want to make sure you're good, and your kids need you.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just me there. It was like Savion, Sanai was there, and it was all through the lens of this is mama.
Yeah.
This is you're not my mama, but this is mama of our family.
Yeah.
We gotta take care of mama. We gotta make sure mama's good because I can't, imagine trying to raise our kids
Right.
and then you not there.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like, man, no, we need mama in the house.
And that was a real dynamic because during like the whole experience with Mariah, like we both tend to forget, like I could have died. Preeclampsia is a condition that a lot of women of color especially get afflicted with in their pregnancy. And so it could have taken me out too. So I'm so grateful. The shot, I know you didn't want to do the shot, but the shot was to prevent
I had to.
that from happening.
Go back and listen to the last episode. You do things you don't want to do, but in that role in my life,
teamwork.
I needed to be that, and so whatever you gotta do, get it done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
let's talk about mother-in-law dynamics because I know it's Mother's Day and that can be a real thing. We have been blessed. Like we haven't had all the drama, all the toxicity that we hear about. But what I want to say is if you're new in marriage or you consider marriage, don't let that scare you because that's not always the case. Like don't let those
don't believe the hype.
Yeah.
Don't believe the hype, man.
It's not. I think even if there is some negativity, it is what you make it. So you can determine, y'all agree and you set the boundaries you need to set. So Brock, share a little bit just about that concept of what leave and cleave really means.
Well, that concept means that when you get married, it's you and your spouse marriage. It's not you, your spouse, and your family, your mom and dad marriage, you and your spouse and your friends marriage. No, it means leave your household. So whatever household you came from, the Smith's household, you're leaving the Smith's household and you're starting a new household apart from the Smiths that was over here. So that means I'm leaving them, I'm cleaving to you, and they don't have full access to tell us what to do with this over here because now we're the leaders of this home.
Right.
Y'all can have some cool influence if y'all want, but here's the boundary of where that stops. And so you don't get to cross over that boundary unless I let you over.
Right.
I'm cleaving to her, and it's about us now. It's not about what y'all want, it's about what we want.
Right.
And so that is sometimes not always established. And that leads to some some
interesting dynamics.
Some interesting conflicts, some interesting things that friction that comes up, and you see it all the time. That's why we said don't believe the hype. A lot of times we can magnify certain instances and make it seem like it's the norm.
Right.
It's not the norm that every mother-in-law is toxic. Right. But when you see movies, you read books, you hear tabloids, you're always painting like, oh my God, the in-laws or that's like a low percentage of marriages. Like for us, we are great experience.
They're like family to me. I feel like I've been adopted into family, which has been healing for me because my family hasn't always been as close, and then losing a mom. So that is the beauty of motherhood and marriage, is it can be healing. The things that maybe I didn't get from my mom, I actually get from my mother in love, I prefer to say. Yeah. So that's a beautiful thing. So
and they respected our marriage.
Yes.
So they had a view of, man, that's y'all marriage, man.
Right.
We here if you need anything. Right. But we not like peeking through the blinds trying to see what y'all do or on the phone trying to, like your dad respected me, honored me. Your mom always respected and honored me and trusted me with you. And it was never like, no, like, man, if you do anything to my, like,
Right.
they never came at me with none of that kind of stuff because they already knew what type of man I was.
Right.
And they didn't have to do that. And so the mother-in-law or mother-in-love or those experiences do affect the marriage. But when you set those boundaries,
Right.
both as you being a wife and I being a husband, like, hey, mom,
Yeah.
we're married now. This is us. We're going to do this. I'll call you if I need you.
Right.
I love you, but this is us now. Now you set it up for success because you've drawn a line. And sometimes you got to be a little bit more firm. But it is a dynamic there. They're going to have influence one way or another.
Well, even outside of the influence, it's an internal battle, I think, for, especially if you are a mama's boy, which shout out to the mama's boys. It's a real thing. But it's not allowing that to affect your ability to make your wife a priority. And so that's just the thing is you have to constantly check your heart, like who's first here, you know?
Yeah. Ooh, you hit on something, boy.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, this prioritizing your wife over your mom.
Yeah.
Because you don't spend so much time, especially newlywed kind of vibe. I mean, more seasoned people. I mean, it can creep in seasoned marriages, but more newlywed, you do have to cut it off, even if you have a close relationship. Not cut it off in the sense of like I no longer talk to you no more, but she can't have an inside scoop,
right,
on everything, and you can't try to appease your mom over your spouse, or
that
you know what I mean,
connection. You know, sharing certain things. You just have to be mindful.
You got to be mindful of it.
Of that.
Yeah, because I have a dynamic with my mom where we talked about everything growing up, and it was beautiful, man. I could come to her and we had conversation, and we still do, but we still do to a certain extent, where I don't bring her into all the happenings of our marriage, but I can talk to her openly about things, but I have to cut that off because it's not about her. In that sense,
no,
you my number one.
Right.
She's still there, but you my number one girl, and so I have to kind of separate that so that it doesn't get jealousy, competition, all the things that can creep in, and now you got this tug of war, and you creating I'm at odds with your mama now, and my mama.
Or it's just sharing emotionally and spiritually and intellectually. If you're doing that with somebody else, it's taken away from what you're doing with your spouse. So it's just missing an opportunity to strengthen that bond. But the flip side of that, as a mom in marriage, like if you have adult kids, like we're kind of, I'm feeling it already with the teen, just these life decisions my son is trying to navigate. Like the beauty is as a mother, you still have that intuition. You can sense when things are going on, but you just have to you can't fix it all. You can't control it all. You can't make the decision for them. So it's like, you know, it's a way for you and your spouse to pray together and strengthen that connection of intimacy.
Right. Yeah. That's the footprint of moms, though. Yeah. That there's a lingering impact and lingering influence, hopefully in a good way. Yeah. It ain't always good. Sometimes it's negative and it can create some negative things. But the power of mom's connection in the family unit that trickles down into the next marriage, into the next decisions that are made, into how the relationships go in the family is big. Yeah. And sometimes kind of overlooked, right? And so it's valuable to have conversations about this because it affects the quality of life and the quality of relationships.
So women, if you have a mother-in-law that might be manipulative, that might be a little controlling, I would just say try to look through a lens of empathy and compassion. There's a reason she's like that, you know, not justifying it, but you just hold firm with those boundaries. Try to have communication with your husband. Sometimes they're not aware that they're being affected by the manipulation, especially if they've grown up in it. So that's a hard thing to break. So even your prayer life, you know, has to change, that you have to step up in that area so their eyes can be open. They could be deceived by some things. So I would say have compassion, empathy, understanding, but be firm. Like, don't take things. I would encourage you to let your husband, because really the husband needs to step up and protect you as a wife and cover you, so you don't have to engage in an unhealthy, situation. Because really that's what it's going to take, is the husband to really reinforce the boundary.
Yeah.
And hopefully the mother will respect it.
Yeah, facts. You gotta men have to step up and speak your voice and command some things in a respectful way. But recognize, if you don't fully understand, that marriage is a priority over any other outside relationships. When you get married, I mean, that's just God's design. When you get married, your priority is your relationship with God, making sure you tapped in with Him, your spouse, next, making sure that she's good, and then y'all's partnership. It ain't God and then your mama, God and then somebody else, and so recognize that and align with that, and then make sure that y'all on one accord. But the mamas affect everything.
It do, but it should and can be in a beautiful way.
Facts.
So, Brock, what takeaways would you leave with the audience?
Show love the mamas.
Yeah, they're worthy of honor.
Take care of the mamas. Yes. They are worthy of honor. God set it up in a beautiful way that's supposed to be a blessing to us, that we serve them, we honor them. That's our duty, is to make sure that the women are built up, that they are shining, that they glowing, but to just value the mother, see the beauty in it, and to see how they impact us in such a great way. I think that's really is. Look through the lens of God, God's eyes for it. They play a vital role into our families and our dynamics. And
ladies, I would just say salute to you, but embrace every season of motherhood, because it can bring out so much beauty in you and in your marriage. Husbands, affirm your wife, appreciate her. Love her body. However, motherhood has changed her body. It's beautiful. It's sexy. It shows that strength, like Brock said. So ladies, don't be ashamed of how you may have changed and evolved. It's a beautiful thing. It's part of the process. Yeah, man. Salute to all the mothers to come. For everybody that's celebrating, if you're grieving, if you lost a mother, man, just know that, man, we're here with you. We're praying for you. You're not alone. But find the joy, find the good memories, man, and connect with others around you. Celebrate the goodness and the legacy you get to leave and live on. Right on. Much love from y'all, from us to y'all. Excuse me, man. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment, let us know y'all thoughts, man. Until next time, next episode, we love y'all. Peace out.